heels. I'm not going to wear heels ever again. Okay. Okay. I want to see if I could put this down so that I could look at this. Hello again and welcome. My shoes off while I talk. Huh? Oh, ladies, and a few good gentlemen, you are doing really well. You're almost all here on time and under budget, which are my two favorite things to do. Hello again. I was the person standing up there on those stair steps. I'm Carolyn Cass, and I'm the president and CEO of Michigan Women Forward. I am so happy to see you here in person in 3D. I have to tell you, I think I've kind of forgotten how to do this. It's been so long, and some of you have said to me we've forgotten how to do small talk and how to talk to each other. So I'm just going to pretend that you're all on Zoom right now, and I'm just going to. I think we'll do just fine, right? All right. So I need to say hello out there to and welcome our guests who are watching from wherever you watch from, your home, your car. I hope you're not watching from your car. I hope you just have it on. Your office, your hot tub. I don't know where you watch from as you're working at home, but we wish you were here with us in person, and we expect you to be here next year. You see, I did not realize you can't bring your Diet Coke up even. Jeez. See, I've lost it. Thank you to our sponsors, everybody out here that are sitting in these beautifully colored seats and have your beautifully colored bags to match, which I thought was pretty cool, Carmen, is a sponsor of Michigan Women Forward. And that is critically important because without your support, Michigan Women Forward could not do its work. I want you to be sure that you take a second, and I know we give you a lot of stuff, but please look at it. And these are the people who support us. These are the companies that put women to the forefront. These are the companies that have made a financial commitment to this organization. And so we want you to get to know them. We're all like-minded. We want to see women succeed, and we want to be sure that we empower women. And so thank you. I get to spend 2 or 3 more minutes with you to tell you what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and what we've done. So I'm going to cram this into just a few minutes. But it's really critically important because I want you to know how we spend your dollars. I want you to know what an impact each of you makes on the women and girls that we serve. At Michigan Women Forward, we do 3 things. Now, there's going to be a quick little quiz on the way out, so to listen up. We expand economic opportunity for women and for a few good men because we do not discriminate. We empower the next generation of young women leaders, that's 2. And we celebrate and honor the accomplishments of great Michigan women, like you're going to meet today, Carla and Mary. The why behind our work is our vision. And our vision is that there needs to be a more diverse and a more equal economy out there where everybody has a chance to succeed. And that, to us, is why we do this work. We want to see every woman, every girl be able to reach their full potential. I know that sounds very lofty and, we all agree with you. But I'm here to tell you that this is hard work. These disparities have been in place for many, many years, millenniums probably. And that's why it's going to take every single person in this room and everybody you know and can speak to make this happen. Upending the status quo where 90% of all business capital still goes to men and less than 10% goes to women. Upending that is no small feat, even though women still start over 40% of all new companies. And then you add in a pandemic and an economy that has been challenging disproportionately to women. And these last few years have been very, very difficult for business. But women are pretty tough, right? And never underestimate the power, the collective power of a group of women and a group of supporters like this to change the world. When we work together, we can make a huge impact, and I'm going to tell you about that impact. Economic empowerment to women is really about investing in women so that they can create wealth. They can own a home. They can create a company that has value, and that they can turn that money that they created back to their children and their children's children. That's what an inclusive economy is all about. And it's perfect that we're in, my Ford colleagues, it's perfect that we're here, because this was all made possible, right, by one man who had an idea, a good idea, and was willing to work hard and risk everything to turn it into, a great car company, right? So that's why we're here. This is exactly the kind of thing that Carla, you're going to build one of these next, right? This is a beautiful place. Thank you for letting us be here. We think that economic empowerment is one of the keys to gender and racial equity, and your support is going to allow us to rebalance this, because it often feels like this is an uphill climb all the time. We want to make sure that women thrive in the same proportion as everyone else. So in 2014, Michigan Women Forward launched the Women's Entrepreneurial Initiative, and we began lending money to women who wanted to start or grow a business. Now, that first year, we loaned $30,000 to 2 women, and it was money that we raised at an event just like this. I see some people out there who were here at that event, and we thank them. One of those businesses failed within the first few years and never paid back the $5,000 that we loaned her. The second paid back every penny with interest ahead of time and is still a thriving business. Now, I had never done this before, but I said, I'm going to look for those second kind of women. I'm going to try to find them. They are out there. And so we did. We learned from every single client that we invested in. And we've grown and we've evolved year after year. And we've grown larger and larger. We invest in more women and we invest more money. Of course, we hired some people that were a lot smarter than I was too, because my rate was 50-50, right? So we had hired Alexis Dishman and Natalie Hall and Allison Boyle, and the people who really put all this together for us. This year, in 2022, we are on track to loan out nearly $3 million, and we're going to loan it to over 100 women. In addition, we invested in over 80 pitch competition winners, and we'll help over 1,000 women learn to run their business better and more profitably. Now, how did we do? Well, I had the team look back and see how many businesses that we've invested in are still in business. And what do you think the number is? 96% are still in business. And our team in the finance office tells me that 98% of all of the people we loan to pay their money back on time every month. So that's the secret, right? Invest in women. I want you to check out the story behind the story here in our impact report that's in your little bag there, and that will tell you a lot more about the impact of your investment in us. I urge you to join me. It's going to take every one of you. It's not just about coming to an event like this. It's not just about supporting the organization throughout the year. It's about doing another thing or two more than that, right? In the little bag that you have out there, you'll find that there's a whole bunch of coupons in there, loyalty cards, business cards, and flyers about Michigan Women Forward women-owned businesses that we have invested in. Take a look at those. Go online, buy something from them, visit their stores, give them an opportunity to be a vendor to your company. Take 5 minutes and connect them with somebody that they need to know so that they can continue to grow and build their business. Your 5-minute investment in these women will change everything for them. So thank you. Now, the second pillar that we believe in is about investing in the next generation of young women leaders. I know you all agree with me, and you know that the future is female. It's our daughters and our granddaughters and the millennials that are out here that are starting to shape our future. And we're more optimistic than we've ever been before about the work that we do when we help another woman, when we bring her to a meeting, when we pull up a chair so that she can sit next to us, when we spend time with her. That's what we do with our girls program. We have immersive camps in the summer, intensive immersive camps, and we have programs for middle school and high school girls throughout the year. These programs empower girls to be knowledgeable about financial literacy, how to run a business, how to manage their money, and the skills that they will need for to be successful in their career. So that's our girls program. These are young girls who are going to be the next Carla Walker Miller or the next Mary Culler, or maybe they won't be the next anything, right? They'll just blaze their own track, their own path. Finally, at MWF, we celebrate women. We find incredible women like these two, and we come together like this 4 different times during the year to honor, in different parts of the state, to honor women. These are 2 of the most remarkable women I've ever known or ever met. Carla Walker Miller is the founder and CEO of Walker Miller Energy Services, and Mary Culler is the president of the Ford Motor Company Fund. You are going to be as inspired by them as I have been. Thank you both for allowing us to honor you. And thank you most of all for everything you do for our community and making the world a much better place because you're here. For the last 30 years, MWF has been bestowing the Woman of Achievement and Courage Award to outstanding women for this reason. These are women who exemplify commitment to community service, who have a proven track record as a role model for others, who empower and inspire their community, and whose contributions are evident and enduring. This year's honorees are all those things and so much more. It is now my privilege to welcome my friend, Rochelle Riley, and so that she can introduce our first 2022 Women of Achievement and Courage Award.
I am a Black woman. The music of my song, Some Sweet Arpeggio of Tears, is written in a minor key, and I can be heard humming in the night. I am a Black woman, tall as a cypress, strong, beyond all definition, still defying place and time and circumstance, assailed, impervious, indestructible. Look on me and be renewed. Renewed. When Mary Evans wrote those words, she didn't know she was writing about Carla Walker Miller. But then again, maybe she did. There are women who work for themselves. There are women who work solely to please men or compete with men. And then there are women who work because it is their right, their might, their purpose, and their identity. It's their destiny. And they make sure to be excellent enough to bring other women with them on the journey. That is my friend Carla Walker Miller, who is in the last category, and I am renewed by her on a regular basis. With every achievement she makes, with every atta-girl she gives me and other women of all colors, with every moment of laughter or conversation about incredulous BS that we see in the world, I am renewed by her strength, by her spirit, by the way she leads her company and the way she leads her life. Carla Walker Miller is a force of nature. But rather than be a hurricane, she is a quiet storm that bends life the right way rather than uproots it, that brings needed rain without drowning anybody. As founder and CEO of Walker Miller Energy Services, she chose to create a company 2 decades ago to change lives through energy. Energy. She helps electric and gas utilities achieve mandated energy reduction goals that reduce energy waste, create local jobs, decrease the energy burdens on families, and reduce harmful greenhouse gases. I didn't know that was a thing before I met Carla Walker Miller. I didn't know how good she was until I met Carla Walker Miller. She started her work life in technical sales, but reinvented her company during a recession and pivoted to the rapidly growing energy efficiency industry. Energy efficiency, a necessary career that takes a necessary woman to do it. Now she heads one of the only African American and woman-owned energy waste reduction companies in the country, a company that was among the first to institute a $15 an hour minimum wage and adopt second chance policies to give jobs to formerly incarcerated citizens. It's no surprise that she chose to work in energy, and that doesn't end with her company. As a trustee at the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village, she helped their team shape their future on energy, said her friend Patricia Moradian. She has given us great insights, making us all better stewards of our resources, Patricia said. Carla also has an unwavering commitment to her values, especially diversity. Our president, Carolyn Casson, said, whenever Carla is at a meeting, she uses her power and her presence to point out who isn't at the table and asks why. She thoughtfully challenges and tells truth to those in charge about where we're falling short. She offers solutions and ideas. And every day, Carla shares her passion and commitment to diversity. She is a warrior, a champion, and an ally to all women. So like I said, Carla Walker Miller renews, empowers, and forces people to make room at the table, even if it means giving up a seat. She takes the word diversity seriously. I've never liked the word inclusion because it always reminds that women were once not included. But I allow that word inclusion in my life because where Carla is concerned, I'm glad she has included me in her life, among her friends and family. She has made Detroit better. She has made Michigan better. She's making the country better. And her friendship has made me better. And if you know her or are lucky enough to get to know her, you will be renewed. So ladies and gentlemen, take a look at Carla Walker Miller.
So, brother and sister, we are a little over a year apart. I'm older by a little bit over a year. Needless to say, we're close. I've always been close. She does not have give up in her. If one door closes to her, that just means that there's 2 or 3 doors that are going to open. So she's always looking for that other door. And if it's not open, then she's going to figure out a way to knock it down and get through there.
We were on a panel about, of all things, energy, which is, of course, her expertise and not mine. And I thought she was one of the smartest women I had ever met. And I immediately said, we have to have lunch and get to be friends. I think you're amazing. Now that we're even friends, I have to tell her every now and again how much I respect and admire her. That company that she started is Walker Miller Energy Services. She's the CEO, the top boss, the person whose values set the tone for the company.
I heard someone call Carla a fearless leader one time. She said, no, I'm scared as hell, but I do it anyway. And I think that is an example of who Carla Walker Miller is. She's someone who I really believe in and I admire, who has inspired me. And so there's not much that I do without talking to her about it first.
She knows that she's a badass in terms of what she's doing. To hear her talk about being a pioneer, I'm not sure she'd say that. She'd probably leave that to other people to say that.
It's about how she treats people like people and treats the people who work for her, the people who work with her community service. When she's passionate about something, she is passionate.
She has learned firsthand the challenges and the difficulties, the persistence that you have to have. If you're a Black woman in business or in politics or in the community, when you give back to your community, it speaks volumes about who you are.
If anybody's deserving of this award for what she's done and gone through and experienced and accomplished over the course of her lifetime and the work she's doing in Michigan and the city of Detroit, she is deserving of it.
When you have a confidant who is one of the most important women in America, I'm flattered, I'm honored, and I'm really, really proud.
Congratulations, my friend Carla Walker Miller, for receiving the Women of Achievement and Courage Award from Michigan Women Forward.
Carla, congratulations on being the recipient of this prestigious award.
Carla, girl, I am so proud, very, very proud of you for receiving the Michigan Women Forward Women of Achievement and Courage Award. No one deserves it more. No one will exemplify what it stands for more. And I couldn't be happier. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Rochelle, my friend. Thank you, Carolyn, for this honor, and Michigan Women Forward. And thank you. Every time I receive an honor, it's not that I don't think I deserve it. It's that I think most of us do and will never receive it. So I have a lot of respect and appreciation for the privilege of a platform, the privilege of a microphone, the opportunity just to say anything, anytime someone wants to listen to my voice. I hearken to a time in my business life not so long ago. I still refer to my 18 years in corporate America as traumatic, and it took me years of processing that experience afterwards to land on the word traumatic. And my 22 years in business has, Rochelle used the word pivot when she said I pivoted from power equipment sales to energy efficiency. And I didn't pivot. It was a fall into a hole of despair and a long crawl back that took something out of me. And when I was crawling back, I remember sitting in audiences like this and saying, oh, okay, why am I a failure? Why am I struggling? Why is this so hard? So as you all honor me, and I absolutely appreciate the honor, I just want to take a moment to honor you. I want to honor every sister who's sitting in here, who's going back to an office or to a Zoom call where you are going to be minimized or disrespected. I want to honor every sister in here who's building a business and has to fake it until she makes it. Every sister who has to look better than she feels right now, which is a whole lot of us. I want to honor you. I want to honor you in whatever struggle you are in, whether it is business or personal. And I want to tell you to keep going. Keep going. And don't go along. Use the value, the power, the privilege, the positivity that is in this room. Allow us to help you to keep going. Thank you again for this honor. And thank you, Carolyn. I love you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carolina Plazinski, and I am thrilled to be here today to introduce Mary Culler as a recipient of this prestigious award. As many of you know, Mary Culler leads the Ford Fund, which is the philanthropic arm of Ford Motor Company. But she's also Bill Ford's chief of staff, and she's the chair of Michigan Central, which is a new mobility innovation district in Corktown, Detroit. I have had the pleasure of working side by side with Mary for the past 2 years. And during that time, I've learned some things about her. What I've learned is that, her her capacity is just unprecedented. We are building something that nobody has ever done before. And so having her as a leader has been a real honor to me. She is a visionary, but yet she will roll up her sleeves in the day-to-day and she will work through the problems with you like there is nothing else going on. And as you all can imagine, that's not true. She's relentless in her pursuit of doing the right thing, even when it's not popular. And she's an advocate for those around her. She has the ability to connect with people on all different levels. And when you leave that conversation with Mary, you feel like you have a new friend. She is she's brilliant, she is genuine, she is kind, and she is oh so humble. And so to me, she is the most inspiring leader that I have ever worked for, and she inspires me every day. And so I'm gonna turn over the video so that you can meet Mary.
Community comes first at Ford. One of the unique ways we build communities is through resource centers that bring residents, nonprofits, and leaders together to support the surrounding neighborhood.
The Ford Resource Engagement Center is a place where anybody in the community can come and find resources that range from legal services, free taxes, job placement services, and if they need food assistance, we have that accessible to them as well.
With locations in Southwest Detroit, on the city's east side, and in South Africa, Romania, and Thailand, each of our resource centers has a unique voice. Working with the community, we design services for the community, meeting urgent needs and opening pathways to education and high-quality jobs.
Personally, this center, in partnering with all the community organizations in the area, have been able to just provide our residents with hope.
By designing solutions together, we address inequality, remove barriers, and empower people to build a better future.
There she is. We were waiting for the photographer. Thank you. Oh, thank you. That's perfect. That's like most of our days.
I know, I was about to say, nothing's changed.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was awesome. Well, welcome to the Ford Experience Center, and honestly, I'm so honored today to be a recipient of this award. As Carolina said, I do kind of feel that I am a humble person. I really don't like to be the center of attention. I'm sure most of you are thinking, well, then how can she do that job? So as you see, our video was about what we do. And at Ford Fund, we're really proud of the work that we do. But I really want to thank Carolina because I don't know if people really realize how hard this project has been that we have, Michigan Central. And what's really exciting is it's mostly run by women. And Carolina honestly has single-handedly, I think, in a lot of ways gotten us to where we are today. So thank you, Carolina. I also want to thank Carolyn because, her years of leadership and advocacy, I mean, it's clear. Think about how she started with just her small amount of grants. Your work has changed the lives of so many. We actually were talking about we can't wait to host them in the grand hall of Michigan Central Station and bring all those wonderful women businesses together to showcase their achievements. We've been very proud to support you as the Ford Fund, and we look forward to our continued work. And then I want to thank all of you for being here. I know that Carolyn spoke about how when women come together, we really can have an incredible impact. But I look out at all of you, and I actually see people who were there when I first started at Ford. And I'll speak to that just in a minute, but it's just so amazing to have all of you here today, and so thank you for coming. Most importantly, I want to say, wow, what an honor to be recognized with you. I have actually had the opportunity to spend a little time with Carla Walker over the last 6 months. We were on a panel together. We've had a couple meetings. And I just want you to know she is the real deal. And I'm just, not only all the beautiful, introduction that you did, Rochelle, but I have never seen someone who is so passionate about serving community. And so I want to thank you for your leadership. You're an incredible human being. So every one of us in this room has their own journey, has their own story. And, mine has frankly probably had, its share of unexpected twists and turns, just like yours. I started working in Washington, D.C. At the beginning of my career, and I also worked in city politics, and then, of course, came to the auto industry. And I love to say that it's probably 3 of the toughest environments for women, especially at the time that I started. But I actually think my upbringing prepared me for the career challenges that I experienced. I was born in Argentina. I grew up constantly on the move through 8 countries before coming back to the United States for my last years of high school. Experiencing other cultures and getting out of my comfort zone helped me become resilient and changed my perspective on so many things. I was always the new kid trying to learn a new language, and I was always the odd one out until I was accepted. I moved to Washington, D.C. out of college and experienced the highs and lows of working there as a female. On the one hand, I had my first woman boss who was Greek. And let me tell you, she was a powerhouse. She was really a force to be reckoned with. She gave me a lot of responsibility early on and served as a female role model. Then on the other hand, I worked in the female-unfriendly environment of Capitol Hill, where I saw and experienced things that were not as empowering. But I did learn that I cared deeply about helping others and working on things that would have an impact. After my next job, an incredibly fulfilling and empowering job working for the mayor of Chicago, I took a huge risk. I joined corporate America, something I said I would never do. While one of my first experiences, including getting patted on the head at a meeting and being told not to worry my pretty little head about something, I stuck to it. I probably had the same experience in corporate America as you did, Carla, initially. But I was drawn to Ford initially because of Bill Ford's environmental leadership and long legacy of philanthropy. Our philanthropic arm, the Ford Fund, has been at the core of the company's commitment to communities for more than 70 years. And I am now the fortunate position of leading that team. I also head up the Ford Fund, and Michigan Central Project, and I also work for Bill Ford. So it's kind of incredible that when I first started my career, he was the reason I came to work at the company, and ultimately I get to work side by side with him, which I'm very grateful for. We've talked about Michigan Central and the opportunity that that brings to the community, and literally it wouldn't have been possible without the women at Michigan Central, so I want to give them a shout out. And at the Ford Fund, we continue to build on equity and creating economic opportunities with communities globally and here in Detroit. I'm particularly proud of the team there as well and our investments to support women, in particular female entrepreneurs who lack access to capital and infrastructure. Carolyn spoke to that, and it's a real issue. And I think all of us in this room know that we need to support women. I want to commend Michigan Women Forward and the team who work tirelessly on behalf of female founders and entrepreneurs across the country. As I look out at you, I see many women who've helped me. I actually just saw Beth Artisana. Where are you, Beth? Wave. I want you to know that in my first year at Ford Motor Company, if it hadn't have been for Beth, I would not have survived my corporate experience. And we together did an amazing project there, which I will never forget, and it was because of her. I am fortunate to work at a company that continues to evolve and innovate to make a positive impact, always guided by its core values to put people first. And this is why I love what I do. But what I really love is seeing the next generation of women leaders at Ford, who I know will hold us all accountable and ensure that we are always striving for a more equitable future for all. In closing, I just want to say, take risks, stay curious, be courageous, and expose yourself to other cultures and perspectives. It's amazing how great the journey can be. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this honor.
Congratulations, Carla and Mary. I am so inspired by both of you. One more round of applause. Good afternoon. My name is Alexis Dishman, and I am the Chief Lending Officer at Michigan Women Forward. I am thrilled to be here today with all of you to celebrate these incredible women and to share more about what's on the horizon for Michigan Women Forward. As Carolyn mentioned earlier, our Women's Entrepreneurial Initiative has grown tremendously over the last year, allowing us to be part of more community conversations to develop innovative solutions to level the playing field for women and entrepreneurs of color. In 2021, Michigan Women Forward supported 54 small businesses, totaling $1.6 million in loans across the state of Michigan. And we awarded $100,000 to pitch winners. And guess what? We've only just begun. In January of 2022, at around midnight, I received an email that said Michigan Women Forward had received its CDFI certification, Certified Financial Institution, from the U.S. Department of Treasury. So we are officially certified. With this certification, MWF will have access to resources from the federal CDFI fund to continue expanding economic opportunity for women and entrepreneurs of color. This reinforces our mission and will enable us to provide more and larger funding to entrepreneurs. As a statewide CDFI, we will target those that are often left unable to access traditional funding support, low to moderate income Michigan women and entrepreneurs of color. There are very few CDFIs in Michigan certified to serve the entire state, and we are honored to play a role in driving Michigan's economy forward. The certification by the CDFI Fund is an important milestone as our strategic focus on supporting the creation and retention of microenterprises grows. Leveraging this milestone will enable Michigan Women Forward to provide even more flexible capital and technical assistance programs to our borrowers that we know are critical to their business success. At MWF, we understand one of the basic building blocks to accessing capital and growing a viable microenterprise is establishing and maintaining good personal credit, which is why I am so excited to announce that due to the generous support of JPMorgan Chase, this week, Michigan Women Forward launched our Credit Restoration Program, a 4-week entrepreneur classroom training program that includes 12 months of one-on-one coaching and a credit builder's loan product. This program will provide microenterprises access to financial tools and qualified individuals who can guide them and support them on their journey to better financial health. And now, it is my great pleasure to welcome my friend, Joelle Lewis, to the stage to share a bit about her journey as an entrepreneur. Joy is one of our loan clients at Michigan Women Forward, and prior to joining Michigan Women Forward, I had the honor of coaching her as a pitch competition finalist. Joy is a resilient and brilliant woman, and I can't wait for you to hear her story.
Hello and good afternoon. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today to celebrate, to uplift, and to recognize two exquisite women. And my name is Joelle Lewis. I'm the owner of Joy Olamay Salon, and I was a former Dolphin Tank Pitch Contest finalist and a recent microloan recipient. Thank you. So my story began in 2012 when I became a licensed cosmetologist. And prior to that, it had been about 6 years when I started my own personal curl journey. So now I'm licensed and I get my very first curl client. And I sit her down and I finish what I think to be a beautiful cut and curl style. So I hand her the mirror, I step back, I patiently wait, and this is my moment of truth to know whether or not I'm as good as I think that I am. Am I good enough to deliver and show up every day the way that I want to. And to my surprise, my client's face lit up with joy. She was just so happy and full, and she had never seen her natural curls so beautifully highlighted. And so that day, and to this day, is still one of my favorite days behind the chair. So from there, I knew that I wanted to show up at work every single day and strive for that very same feeling. So Joyola May's mission is to help other curly girls find that very same joy. Joyola May Salon was built to empower wavy, curly, and coily textures. And we pride ourselves in using clean, organic, vegan-friendly, and sustainable beauty practices. So to go a little bit back, before 2019, I had never made hair my full-time business. It was always sometimes, and it was something that helped me pay the bills and made sure that, I could stay afloat and survive. But in 2019, something in me changed, and I was ready to make a shift. And that shift landed me at Ulta Beauty, where I had started over. I showed up there with 3 clients, 3 consistent clients, all of them natural, and all of them had hair color. So it was uncertain for me whether or not Ulta would be a good fit and a good home for me. But what I found in less than 1 year, I was on Ulta Beauty's top earners list in the district. I had set a new bar for myself, and what it proved to me is that curl artists were needed. Someone trained to help in the maintenance of both loose textures, loose curl styles, and protective styling. So from there, COVID-19 hit, and I wasn't sure if what I was doing was right, if I was in alignment. I wasn't sure if when I went back to Ulta that my clients would come back, or if Ulta would still be the same, or if this thing that I was just getting the hang of was going to sustain, or if I would have to start over again. And what I found in my second year is that I had a clientele that was bursting at the seams. And now I have reached my cap at Ulta. There was no more room for growth. There was no more career development. And unfortunately, I had to make a decision. And so I decided to pivot. And that pivot was me starting my own business. So what came with that, again, was risk. It's a pandemic, and I'm thinking about opening a salon, a 6-chair salon, and taking out a business loan to do hair. Lord, it was crazy. It was a crazy thought. But I knew the time was right, and I was not new to this rodeo. I had spent years in business pipelines, including Michigan Women's Forward's Dolphin Tank as a finalist for another business idea that I had in 2017. And, I'm sorry, for that in 2017. But what I remembered about Michigan Women's Forward is that my experience with them and the team that I worked with was always a stellar experience. So I knew that when it was time for me to circle back and start applying for business loans, that Michigan Women's Forward was going to have my back. So to that end, I do want to take a moment to thank both Alexis and Ben Jerick, because they were tremendous in supporting me and the trajectory of where Joyola May was going to go for the better. Alexis Dishman was with me in the beginning as my pitch coach. And who knew that when I circled back around to apply for a loan, that she would be there once again to support me on this next part of my journey. and I'm so grateful that you were there. And then I came to Ben in May of 2021. I believe I may have been his first loan, actually. But I came to him with my life's dream, and Ben was dedicated to helping my expansive vision come to fruition. And oftentimes, I really think that he might have been just as excited as I was for Joyola May. So when I received that phone call from him and I heard yes, I just felt myself expand. And I felt all of the limits coming off of me, and it set up a domino effect of opportunity. I received $35,000 in a loan from Michigan Women's Forward. I then received an additional $35,000 loan from Prosper Us. And at the beginning of this year, I received $25,000 as a grant from Motor City Match. So to date, I have secured over $100,000 to start my very first retail store at 1432 Michigan Avenue. In which we celebrated our ribbon cutting. Just yesterday, May 11th, we celebrated our ribbon cutting. We received a Spirit of Detroit Award, and we had a beautiful grand opening party. It was wonderful. For a Black woman like me, from humble beginnings, this was no small or easy feat. And it was character-based lending that afforded me the opportunities to now build for my community, to build a legacy for my family, to build financial independence for myself. And Michigan Women's Forward has built a foundation that Joyola May stands on. And I'm so thankful that you all are here to hold my hand and ensure that as I go on this journey, I am going to be successful. And I also want to extend that gratitude to anyone that is a part of this process, the staff, the contributors. I know that there are so many people that touch this foundation, but it is changing the lives of women and girls just like me every day. So thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Joy. God knew what he was doing when he gave you that name. You've just brought so much joy to us today. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your grand opening. We're all so proud of you, and we can't wait to see you soar. Good afternoon, friends. My name's Denise Christie, and I am the past chair of the board of the Michigan Women Forward. It's just been an honor to be involved with this organization for as many years as I have. I've stopped counting because I'm going to continue to stay involved as long as I possibly can. But what I'm most passionate about and what I think has been the most inspiring about MWF is that this started in somebody's basement not too long ago. But it started with the notion that, boy, if we can raise some money, and Carolyn Casson came up with this idea, if we can raise some money, if we can find 100 women who will write a check for $1,000, that's $100,000, the impact that that will have is transformational. Well, today, guess what? We've got a great, exciting opportunity for you right now. And that is for us to continue this opportunity to invest in MWF and the work that this incredible group of women and executives have actually committed their time, talent, and treasure to personally to be able to make MWF what it is today. And it is really growing into a true powerhouse. So with that,
I want to first of all start by thanking all of our sponsors here for today's event. Because of all of you and those of you that have already purchased tickets, I'm excited to announce that today we've already raised $200,000. Exciting. But we have a goal to raise before we leave this room today of $15,000 right now. And I invite you to join us today and continue our important work to advance gender and racial equity for women and girls in Michigan. I personally believe in this work so much that I want to encourage all of you to take a moment to consider Power of 100. And the reason I say that is that it is a $1,000 gift, and there's many of you in here that's very precious. But for some of you, that's something that's very doable. And we invite you to take a moment, dig into those white bags of yours, because there isn't really a Power of 100 category on here. But all you need to do is write P100 on the top of that envelope and put your name and information in it, and you immediately will become a Power of 100 woman. What does that mean? It means that you're in the room where it happens. You are a part of that group that comes together to support women who become CEOs of organizations. We call it the Breaking Glass Ceiling events. You are in the room in terms of front and center on supporting certain activities and events specific for MWF. And you are in the room in our hearts at MWF as our go-to funders that we're going to pick up the phone and call to say, hey, we need your support. So Power 100 is very important, and I encourage you to take a moment to pull that out of your bag and scratch your name on it. In fact, one of my colleagues at MMA, Kim Clark, has already said, I'm in, count me in for $1,000. So thank you, Kim, for that. Now, for the rest of us, we can do a really fast gift too. You know, kind of a Target shopping run, like $100. And that's as simple as this. You've got a QR code right on your program, or you can go ahead, for those of you on the phone, can go ahead and look it up. It's right there on your phone. And you'll find this, scan it, and just give now. Just go right onto your phone and scan it and give now. And if you prefer that pen and paper, of course, it's still right in your goodie bag. But for our guests attending virtually, this QR code and our website, you should be seeing this. It should be appearing. And come on, isn't technology amazing? We've got people watching this and giving as well, so that's pretty great. So please, right now, my only ask is before you leave this room, pull it out. I'm not seeing those phones going. Come on, I'm not going to leave until I see those phones going. But please give generously and know that your support is making a real difference. A difference for Michigan women and girls, for companies like Joy's, who's going to take off and continue to soar, for leaders that we have the privilege of honoring, as we did today, and for all of you for making such a huge difference in the world. On behalf of MWF, I want to thank you, and we want to thank you too. Come on, let's exceed that 15,000. By the way, West Michigan did 20,000. Now, those people can make a nickel cry. So come on, we can do it. Let's do it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Denise. Thank you to everyone who has donated thus far. What Denise didn't tell you is that these doors are about to lock. And you don't get to leave unless you donate. That's the new rule. My name is Natalie Hall, and I am the Chief Development and Program Officer at Michigan Women Forward. And there has never been a more exciting or important time to be a part of MWF. I would be remiss if I did not thank the amazing team here at the Forward Experience Center. Your dedication and your support, we truly, truly appreciate all that you've done to make today's celebration a wonderful event. So thank you to all of you that are back there, up there, the staff here. We appreciate it. Now, I truly stand before you in the parking lot and the rest of your day. So I am going to make this brief. But I would really like to remind you all that every single one of us in this room today, even those watching virtually, we really have the power to build a brighter future for women and girls with our actions in this moment. So your support is valued, your support is needed, your support is critical. What I do know is that we are better and stronger together, and we have the power to make a difference together. Now, before we conclude this event, before we get out of here, I want to give you an assignment, and I want to make sure you understand the assignment, and then we'll unlock the doors. But what I'd like for each of you to do is think of a woman in your life that you want to celebrate, someone you want to lift up, someone you want to honor, someone you want to thank. It could be your sister, it could be your friend, your wife, your boss, anyone. And when you leave here today, do something to celebrate them. Call them, text them, send them a card. Make a donation in honor of Michigan Women Forward. That's a novel idea, y'all. You should do it. But really, I invite you to celebrate women all the time. It's never not a good time to celebrate women. And for educators, I use the double negative intentionally. So don't come after me. Well, before we get ready to get out of here today, it looks like we're still getting close to our number. We don't have exactly what we need. So again, we're not unlocking the doors until someone decides to pick up their phone and scan that QR code and make sure that you give. Your support is so valuable to our organization, and we really, truly need each and every one of you. So what I will say is we look forward to seeing you all next year when we can report out on the impact that you have made. And on behalf of the MWF staff and the Board of Trustees, we thank you for joining us as we work together to move Michigan women forward. This is the conclusion of the program. I'd like to tell the DJ to cue the music, but we're not there. So what I will say is have an amazing day on purpose, and thank you for your support.